It's that time of the week. It's Ask Guillem. And can I say, first of all, the quality of the questions keep improving. This is a real football conversation that I'm having with you. And I want to thank you for that. There is a lot of people out there that get, I think, pushed away by certain side of social media. But there is you who want to talk football, and that's what we're here for. So, without further ado, Shane Wyatt at Elche White, I know what your team is, says, "Hi Guillem, too many draws at Valencia. What is happening after last season's success?" Last season's success was surprising, but everything that they tried worked. Everybody that they brought into the equation worked. Players that we didn't know much about, or we didn't know how the performances were going to be. All players that had been poor, all of a sudden improved. Rodrigo, Guedes, of course, Kondogbia was very important to them as well. And those are three key players for what's happening right now. Rodrigo, since the beginning of the season, really, we haven't seen his best version. Guedes has been injured, didn't have a proper pre-season either. So without his ability to beat in 1v1 situations, his crossing, his pace, this Valencia suffers. They don't have that kind of pace without anybody else. Cheryshev could have been the one, but actually he got injured as well in the last game at the weekend. So, and Kondogbia, he's not at his best either. He was frustrated being substituted at the weekend, but he hasn't been at his best. So even Marcelino is saying now we cannot win like this. The second half against Young Boys was very poor, and this is a team that is lacking confidence, that lacks depth, that making mistakes. Parejo is another one that is not at his best. So perhaps their success arrived too early, and the team wasn't solid enough mentally, but also in terms of quality to actually make to the next jump of being in the Champions League. Right now, they're not playing well in the league. They're not playing well in the Champions League. 9 draws. It's just unbelievable. George Strauss 92 says, best manager in the Premier League that isn't top 6. Can I choose 2? I've got a soft spot for both of them. Eddie Howe, for me, is somebody that is not in a rush to go to the next level. I think he can, and he will, but he's not in a rush. I'm not sure if he's got offers to get to a bigger club, if you like, or one with a bigger budget, but he's not in a rush to leave because he still feels that he's still got loads to learn, that he's young. And I love that approach. Why rush? Because sometimes you actually take a step that takes you backwards a lot if you're not prepared for the next step. Eddie Howe will get a top 6 club, I'm pretty sure, but I love his approach. I did a podcast with him when I was at TalkSport. Keep an eye on it, actually. I think we've reduced it eventually to 1 hour, but I followed him from the day before a game. I spoke to him, and then just before the game, 5 minutes before the game, I spoke to him. I spoke to him just after the game, and to try to see why he took the decisions that he took. So I don't know if Arya, our producer back in India, who's looking after my YouTube channel, will put a link for you to know where to find that podcast. But it is one that is worthwhile listening to because of Eddie Howe and his approach to football. The other one is Javi Gracia. Javi Gracia, who could have been an Espanyol manager at some point, was somebody that was followed by Watford when he was at Malaga. Then he decided to go to Russia, earned a lot of money, but perhaps he wasn't. And he will explain to you that he wasn't given a proper shot at the job at Rubin Kazan because basically there was a division at the club and he had to leave, and there wasn't enough money to bring the kind of players that he needed. All in all, it didn't work out for him. Ended up, of course, now at Watford, and what we got is a manager that. In my eyes, is the modern manager, somebody that understands the relationship to the players, but also the technical side of it and the tactical side of it. Both of them are doing a great job and will stay around for a long time. As you know, he's going to be renewed by Watford as well in the next few weeks, I think. That's what everybody's expecting. How is Malcom coming along at Barcelona? That's asked by J. Watalio. He's not coming along, basically. I think Valverde called it a club signing, which means that it's a signing of somebody that has been bought by the club, but not so much by himself, by the manager. You know, at Barcelona, that's how it works anyway. There is a director of football, a technical secretary, and those decisions are made collectively. So the manager will say, I think I need this type of player, and they will go and get him. So quite clearly, Valverde was putting a break into the possibility of Malcom becoming a player of a big impact straight away. Even though he was wanted by others, we know that. Barcelona got him. He was on his way to Roma, almost literally. Decided to stay, but Barcelona keeps giving opportunities to Dembele for obvious reasons, for the cost, and because he had shown his ability perhaps more regularly than Malcom. But in any case, Malcom will have his time. Dembele has to be given more and more opportunities. For me, it's the biggest disappointment of Barcelona so far this season. But you saw against Sevilla, once Messi got injured, you saw straight away that he actually has got the ability to be an important player for Barcelona. But in the second half, you saw a lot of possession being lost and a lot of mistakes being made. We don't know if Malcom would got away or not. Right now, he's down very low in the pecking order. Arthur's role on the following games without Messi, he's got to do what he does and grow in confidence. He makes simple passes, he doesn't make mistakes, doesn't lose possession, but he needs to go into the next level, the things that we saw him doing in Brazil, which is the ability to actually get closer to the box and deliver passes as well to the front men. At the moment, it's all quite simple, and he helps Barcelona to gain control, but he needs to grow, and he will do. He's only young, and he's an important player, one that Messi, in a recent interview, pointed out to as somebody that surprised him, which is another way of saying, put this guy next to me because I can understand and he can understand me and they can link up. Arthur will grow and certainly will play the Clásico. In terms of pure talent, is Mesut Özil one of the best in the world? What is pure talent? The ability to dribble in the small spaces, the ability to give consistent performances in the elite, the ability to actually adapt to your game, to the match. I don't know what you mean by pure talent. I think you mean the ability to actually make things with the ball, and you will get a dozen of players who are like that, from Messi to Ozil to Dembele, you know. But it's how you apply it in a game, in my eyes, what talent is. And Mesut Ozil has to improve. He was fantastic against Leicester City. He has to keep doing it to actually reach the level that he deserves. He's always been an up and down player. I said it when he signed for Arsenal, but he has the ability in terms of football ability, to be a top player. He needs the mentality to apply all that into the games regularly. He's got a coach that will be patient, and he's talking to him and understood that he came early to pre-season because he wanted to make an impact. So it was Ozil who made the first step. But now what you have to see is that consistency being applied. And that starting training. Ozil has to train even better than he does. You can be pushed. Mourinho tried it. He didn't succeed. Eventually left Real Madrid, of course. And Ozil was upset with Mourinho because he was pushing him, but actually Mourinho was trying to do the best for his career to get him to the level where he should be. Rob Patterson says, Newcastle United is no longer a sporting institution. It is in essence the marketing arm of sportsdirect.com. Discuss. I'm going to look at the Newcastle situation. I'm fascinated by it, not all for positive reasons. I can see what's happening there, the divide between what the club says, what the club promises, what the manager gets, what the fans get told, and what then they later on find out and realize. It's just confusing, and it is a difficult time for Newcastle. And I have to say, it seems to me from where I stand that yes, it's like a branch of the Matrix company of Mike Axie. And it is kind of worked the same way. basically he reduces costs to make a profit and only invests if it's necessary. The same way that he deals with the other companies, he seems to be dealing with Newcastle. One more thing to say, but I'm gonna find out. I want to go to Newcastle. Talk to me about it. Tell me stories, because I wanna know what you feel, what you think, and I'll try to explore it myself. But it seems to me like if Newcastle this year is all about not getting relegated, forget about 10th last season. It has been no investment, not enough investment. So it means that all you can expect is not to get relegated. Fight for that. Then everybody will have to be calm. The club, the fans, the media even, and the manager. If the results don't come now, the battle is just to be fourth bottom at least, and manage expectations. Not easy. And the last one is, will Lopetegui keep his job if Real Madrid win El Clásico? From D. Sairam. If and when Lopetegui leaves Real Madrid, can we again see him at a top club again? I've got no doubt that he is a good coach and that he will have more opportunities. He's only young as well, and he will learn from it. Camacho used to say that you only learn when you've been sacked at least once or twice. But what seems very clear to me is that Florentino Perez has lost all kind of patience for him. I said earlier, if Real Madrid wins 5-0, then what happens? And then certainly football is funny, but I know that Florentino Perez has lost all kind of confidence in him. That's it for now. Subscribe. There'll be more next week. There's more stuff. In fact, there's big stuff happening this week, and I hope you enjoy it. And comment, and of course, tell everybody that I'm here and there are things happening in this corner of the online world. Bye-bye.